everybody, this is Chuck, and thank you for stopping by the channel for another Screwy Tuesday. Little introduction, little yakety yak before we get into it. There will be quite a bit of machining on this video, so I hope you'll enjoy it. It's for your entertainment. And but I wanted to start out by talking about last week's video, the video about my son Tim. I just want to express my sincere thanks to everybody for all the kind words, supportive words, understanding of Tim's life, and I just can't tell you how much it's appreciated. And he's right here in my shop with me. There's photos in the shop around. Talk to him all the time, and just no different. I talk to the drill press Paul that passed away. I got pictures of Chewy out here. I talk to Chewy all the time when I'm out here working. But anyway, enough of that. Just wanted to say again, thank you very much. My wife really enjoyed reading all of the comments, and some of the people that have CVS, we got some comments, and other people that have taken care of special needs kids. Really nice to read. So anyway, today's video, I bought a Vise for my buddy to have at the lake, and let's get into it, and you'll see. It's going to probably be a two-part video, but hang in there. It's a longer one today, and I hope you enjoy. Again, I always appreciate your time, spending some time here in my shop. Take care. Well, I picked up this Vise for my buddy at the meet and greet, and it's pretty filthy, so I thought I would do a little cleanup for him. Jaws are 5-inch. There's some casting numbers on it, but no name. Let me see how far it opens up. So that's the max it opens up, and from the original Jaws, it would have been close to 7 inches, 6.5 inches, let's call it. Right now it's just under 5. It's a heavy son of a gun. It does have pipe jaws in it here, also. And it's basically got a screw type set up like a Wilton. It's got a key underneath it like a Wilton. Looks like it's been dragging on that. Some numbers here on the side, but it doesn't say that it's a Wilton. There you can maybe see the nut down inside, pipe jaws. It's a heavy son of a gun, as I said. Quite a bit of wear on the serrations on those teeth. And pretty good amount of wear. So it's been spun. It's been broken. How about that? Somebody did a pretty nasty, looks like a weld job there. Oh, there it is. I didn't see that. Yeah, we'll clean all that up. Bottom of the unit. $17.50. And we'll take those screws out and get the screw out. didn't see that that had a broken base on it. Probably would have offered less for it. We paid $120 for it, or I did for him. It was so damn filthy, I didn't really pick it up and look at it. So this vise appears to have been worked based on how the bottom is broken and how the locks are broken. It's not going to have a hard work life at the lake, but a little disappointing. There's the screw. No thrust bearing on there, just face to face. And we'll see if these will come out fairly easy. I don't know if they're different or not, but I thought I'd mark it. Huh. Interesting. 3 pieces. 2 pieces. Is that broken? Yep. So that piece is broke. Interesting. Okay. Well, time to clean it up. Okay, let me bring you up to speed. So, I've gone a little further. I've got the nut out of the body right here. So where am I? Over here. So I got the nut out of it and be ready to start cleaning. So that guy was in there. So the Acme thread on the nut, nothing to write home about, but it's loose, but it'll function. So we're okay there. So I dug in my supplies, and I've got a couple of pieces of A2 metal here. This one's A2 also. So this one's going to make the new jaws. They'll be 600 thou thick, and they'll be 600 thou thick, and they'll be about 400 thousandths taller than the edge of vise, which I think is fine. Part of the reason I'm saying it's fine is because I don't know if you can see this one. I'll grab this piece here, but you can see the gap there where the casting's bad over here. So if the jaw is above it, it'll look fine. So it'll be interesting machining the vise jaws and getting a pattern on those. I've got an idea on how to do it, and could be fun. Got a lot of cleaning to do, and then the pipe jaw that's broken here, that one will come out of this piece of A2, an interesting build. So we have a radius there with steps in it, and I've been thinking about how to do that also. Got to make 2 of these. Okay, so that kind of brings you up to speed. The serrations here for the clamp on the swivel. I've got an idea on how we can increase that. I think we'll step on that when we get to it. It may be that the clamp force is good enough that I don't have to deal with it at all. So just to show you, I'm going to slice this on the horizontal bandsaw. This is a fixture plate that I have, and I've got a line scribed at 620 thousandths, I guess. Gave myself some grind space, and basically came over here with the square against the side here, and double checked that I'm square to this plate, and then the plate drops into my bandsaw, and I'll cut on that side of the line, and then turn it around and get the rest of it. I got to tell you, I love my horizontal bandsaw. 645, 665, 20 thousandths in 5 inches. I'll take that all day long. So just here cleaning up the saw cut. Well, we're going a little handheld here. As you saw, I showed the Delrin piece for making the Vise jaws. There's my Vise jaws, and I had just super glued them to a plate real quick, and I had that over in the angle plate here, fooling around to see if I could get it set up, and it wasn't working. So then I had this great idea here. So one, tired of fighting the weight of that, so I just made a wood mock-up and double stick taped it to this piece here. So it's just taped on there. But the problem is I can't get clearance. My blade is not a large enough diameter to the column, so I can't traverse. So I thought about putting this angle piece on here to see if I could do it. I'd already tried it on the angle plate that's there in the back, and both are failures. So we'll keep on keeping on and see if we can come up with another method to go ahead and cut the Vise jaws and put this nice pattern in them. Now we're doing a little handheld here. So as I mentioned, I want to put that pattern in those jaws, and so that's the part I like about machining, trying to figure out setups. So my first thought was to use this saw right here, or this cutter, and the problem is, and I may have mentioned this already, is the quill has a bigger diameter than that blade. So I don't have the basically a little over 5 inches of depth. So I talked to Charlie, and we came up with this idea. Got an 1.25" R8 tool holder. This is an 1.5" stainless shaft, and I mounted the cutter. It's got a 1-inch bore on the shaft there, and this would give me my reach, especially if the table's down far enough. and I still need to figure out how I'm going to mount this. I just super glued those to the plate just for mock-up purposes. I had the wood mock-up in there. I think I showed that. And it's one of those things you got to walk away and think about it and come back, and so I think I got it figured out. Is go ahead and drill the holes for the attachment to the vise, and then those holes become the attachment to the plate or a block at the 50 degrees angle that I want. So that's where it is right now, and I've got to cut some flats on the shaft here for the set screws, and I've got to figure out how to assist the blade. The blade has a keyway in it, and how I'm going to manage to do that on that shaft. May see some of that. Well, I'm going to bring you up to date. I had a good talk with Charlie about setups, and we came up with this one now. So using my rotary table, and my rotary table has a sacrificial pallet on it out of aluminum, and it's been worked. So it was real simple to go ahead and drill and tap it for the vise jaws and mount the vise jaws on it. And then now I can rotate to 50 degrees and make my cuts. So that should work fine. And then once I make the cuts the one direction, then I just turn back the other way, get 50 degrees, and make my second set of cuts. So right now, my table on my mill is as low as it'll go, but my arbor is too long. So I need to pull this back out and shorten the arbor. And then I think we're going to be ready to start cutting. Should be relatively simple. I did do some test cuts, and it appeared that it was going to be fine, but the proof will be in the pudding once we get at it. So we'll bring you back after I get everything set up and ready to go. Yesterday, while I was still pondering on my setups, I opted to go ahead and work on the swivel base, and here's some videos on that to keep you engaged before I come back. Got a little handheld here, a little process. You've seen a few shots, I think. So I've got the one direction done, and now I'm going to flip it or turn it 50 degrees the other direction and finish cutting this. It's not quick by any means. Okay, I've got it flipped over 50 degrees the other direction and back to cutting. Another couple hours. Knock on wood, so far my cutter is holding up. So got a lot to go, but hopefully it'll hang in there. Well, as I sit here watching, long time to watch, I question myself if I would be better off with a faster spindle speed to have more tooth engagement faster. But I'm not going to experiment now because it's working and it's just time. But it would be interesting. I just took a guess at speed and feed and listened to the tool. Got 10 thousandths run out on the total run out on the shaft. So, but I don't know if this thing will focus or not. But we're getting a nice pattern. Well, it took some time, but I got it. And now it's ready for heat treat. Pattern turned out nice. Well, here we are, the heat treat oven. It's already been at 1600 degrees for 2 hours, and now it's kicked up to about 1750, and it'll cook for another hour. And then from there we'll take it out and see how we're doing on our hardness. It'll cool overnight.